Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the sales orders and drop ship functionality in Business Central. So we'll start off by describing the process that we're really talking about. This is an instance where you may purchase items from a vendor, but those vendor is going to ship that directly to your customer. That way it gets there quicker, probably saves on some costing for the customer, etc. So the main purpose of this is to show you how we can track that at Business Central, how we can link the sales orders and the purchase orders together. That way the purchase order knows where to send it, how we can automate that process better, and alleviate some of the manual stuff that may have to be done today. So we'll start with the items. So on an item, you have the ability to link an item to a particular vendor, meaning that when you buy this, you should be able to go to your related item here, go down to purchasing and vendors, and you should see the vendors that you can purchase or you have purchased that from, and you've got them linked together. By doing this, you alleviate a couple of steps in the process, but I'll show you how that works, as we go down the line. So that is the big one. If that's there, it makes the help when we go into actually do the creation of everything, just make stuff go just a little bit quicker. So what we're going to do is we're going to go right to sales orders. So when we enter a sales order, out of the box, the drop ship field is not here. Now that can be added simply by going to your personalize it, select the fields, get it down here. The data will show up over here, and then you can simply drop it onto here. That is option number one. Option number two is to use a purchasing code. They both work the same. So the purchasing code basically is something to where you might have a few different ones, a drop ship and a special order. These right here are selected when you actually show the details of them. They are actually showing you exactly what, let's see if I can get that to do that correctly, that it is a special order or a drop shipment. Now that does the same thing as just clicking the button here. So like I said, you've got two different ways that you could do this. It is strictly up to you on how you want to do that. I think that if you're doing strictly drop ships, that the check mark's a lot easier. Because it's a field that stands out. So you can put your items in here. You can go through, put all your pricing, and everything goes the same way as a regular order when we have the drop ship here. Now the key is the items and the order have to be in a released status for the next step to search for them and to pull it in. So we're going to release this one. And I've already got a couple made up. Again, we've got them in there. We've got a marked drop ship. We're going to release it. Same thing, release it. And let's say that while I'm doing it, I decide, well, for whatever reason, we're going to do these as well. So then we could just click the button here. We're going to take out the code for right now. And we will release that. So two different ways this can be done. The first way is if you know the vendor you want to get it from. So we're going to go and do it what I'm going to call the hard way. I go to purchasing and I enter a purchase order. And let's just do a new one. And we're going to purchase from non-publishers. But before we do that, we need to go back to the sales order. We missed a very important step at the sales order. So you still at this point, this might be a drop ship, but you still have to tell it where does it go to. So this is where you would come down and put in your customer that you're shipping to. Give me just a second. Come on. Just want to make sure I hadn't moved the field around. And you'll notice that it gave me all kinds of issues because I did not reopen it. So released actually, say, freezes all the steps from happening. So let's reopen it. And now let's go down and see if it will leave us alone. We'll go back in one more time and release it. We'll do the same for these. We're going to open them first. We're going to come down and we're going to tell it where we want it to go. There's nothing in there, so this is where we could actually give it a new location. And yes, I'm having trouble typing today. We give it the address and everything we need, and let's just switch this address to, we're going to send this one to the address in New York. We say fine, say okay, and we'll do that with one more. I could actually put a customer name in here, or again, based on what the customer is, maybe, you know, they're buying from themselves as well. So we go back to this alternate. And then we can get rid of that. Okay. So now, like I said, the hard way is we go to a purchase order, we actually come in, we create our new purchase order. I don't put anything in here, but I come down here and I change this now to my customer of Adium. I believe it was Park Lewis. You can do that and then come up to your more options, related, actions, functions, drop ship, get sales orders. It'll give you the list of the sales orders that match that customer and the location that you picked. So we're just going to take the first one we did, which I believe is this one. And it brings everything in. And now all you got to do is release this and you can move on. You'd have to do that with each individual one on this page. What I feel the more easier way to do it is if we went to, and we're just going to go back to the orders for just a second to make sure those are okay. And, oh, I didn't re-release these. This is where that vendor and item relationship really is going to come into play, because we're going to go to what we call the requisition worksheet. This is where I can do multiple customers, multiple things at once. So I could come here and say, I want to drop shipment and I want you to get the sales orders. I can pick the sales order I want, or I can say, just show me all the sales orders that are out there and I will decide what I'm going to do. So as you'll see here, this created several lines. You'll see over here, it actually populated 2 of the vendors because I have that one-to-one relationship with those vendors. But I can easily come in here now and tell it to add and say that this one is going to go from maybe this vendor. And we'll just do this for time's sake. And this one, let's do the same thing. Let's make that one 4,000, 40,000. Now by doing this, I can simply come back to the home page, tell it to carry out the action items. I'm going to tell it I want to see the orders. This is going to do the worksheet. This should now produce 1, 2, and if we go to purchasing again, you see we got our new ones open, except for this last one, which this last one it did not like. And oh, it did bring it in. There's the WRB. There's 2000S. And there is our chair. And now everything should be good. Now, the reason that this is helpful is for this right here. So let's say you're coming from Great Plains, GP Today. In GP Today, you'd have a little icon on the sales order that tells you, hey, this is linked. And you could click on that and it would show you like the PO number that it's attached to. Well, BC does the same thing, only just slightly different. All I have to do is highlight the line, go to order, drop ship, sales order. It will actually open the sales order up and show me it. So now I know that's how they're linked. I could do the same thing if I go back to the sales order. It works just in opposite. From the sales order, if we picked this one, and we'll do the same thing. And you'll see it takes us to the purchase order. So you get everything that you have. That's why I think the requisition worksheet is a smoother process than the other. But something just occurred to me while we were doing that. So the key to this is just like you do in probably any ERP you work with today. Until I go to purchasing, so I learn how to navigate and go to purchasing, and I go to one of these, The key to the final step is when I go to actually say receive it. So when it's a drop ship, you don't ever receive the item. You usually you do it at the same time you do the receiving and the invoice. But you could still, when you hit the post here, you're going to get the option. Do you want to receive it? Or do you want to invoice it? Depending on what stage it's in, or do you want to do it in one step? So by doing it in one step here, you'll see that it is telling me right off the bat that you can't do it all at the same time. This is what is different than GP. So with GP, you had to do it that way. With this right here is we're going to do the receive first. Now by doing this, I can actually push the cell through. But we can also then come back and invoice it. You'll see that it's completely backwards. In GP, you have to release it here before you can sell it. And here, once you receive it, and that was the standard cost. The web is really dragging today. We go back to our sales order here now. I believe that is Alpine. No. There we go. I'm actually going to come in here now, and I am going to come over. And again, this process right here depends all on how you do your stuff. I'm going to give it, it's got the quantity shipped, quantity to invoice. So I have to invoice this. You'll see that it only invoiced one. And now if I go back to that purchase order, I can complete it, close the process out. That is the main difference between what GP did and what BC does, and what I would, feel most ERPs do it the other way. So now let's just invoice this again. And you'll notice then, because I have this, I need to put in my vendor doc. And now after all that, we can finally post it completely. And make sure that you have your tax script closed and all that set up correctly. So that is really the big part there. So the three key things that we should take out of this is that to link the two together, your purchase order and sales orders must have the same ship to address. That's how it knows what to do. The drop ship must be checked to use either one. And I say that because I'll show you this. If I come up to this one, this is what you will get. And this is the first thing that's going to tell you didn't get all your steps. For one, it's going to tell you the sell to customer has a value, doesn't have a value. So it's looking down here to say, there's nothing on the other side that matches up with this. So that's how you can tell whether you've got everything correct or not. If this isn't opened, it will tell you that there's no sales orders to look at. That window does not get populated until you come into here and you actually select it. Then you see all the different orders that you could receive in. This right here could have a list of multiples on it. So if you do a lot of drop ships and things along those lines, or even special orders, remember on the sales invoice, the sales order, you need to remember to bring in either the ship to address, ship to icon, or you use the purchasing code method. They both work the same way. It's just whichever you prefer. That's all the time we have for today. If you've got any questions, give us a holler. Also, be looking for a blog to come out that gives you the step-by-steps and all the different things that we can do with this right here. Thank you for your time and have a great day.